everybody, it's Captain Kyle, and I have these two huge boxes here that actually contain a version of Defensor. And believe it or not, this has 4, this has 1. So I'm sure some of you have been seeing people saying, hey, just got it, and you're like, is it worth getting? Well, I'm gonna go through these guys and see if they are worth getting, and we may have some special appearances by previous versions of Defensor. But we'll bust these out, go through them bot by bot, and then in combined mode as Defensor, and see if it's worth it for your collection. Be right back. All right, so these boxes are massive. I'm gonna put the smaller one aside because we're gonna start with Hotspot. Now, it says he is Justice Power DK05 on the back here. And it also says that this is a Speckle Guardian leader, or special. It's not special, it's special. Anyways, the Speckle Guardian. Woohoo! Now it's a very neat box. It's got some neat cartoon style artwork on there, nice word balloon. Let's combine, go guys. It says on the back that this product does not include arms and feet. It actually includes feet, it just doesn't include legs. It also shows a number of different configurations that you can put this guy in other than a fire engine and into, you know, different robot modes. And I'm gonna be honest, I will probably never put him into any type of base mode. The base modes, they do look cool on the back here, but I'll put him in robot mode, I'll put him in fire truck mode, and I'm probably gonna put him in combined mode and, you know, just have him stomp all over everybody. Well, let's take him out. Now, what is interesting is these don't come with instructions. They have a QR code. Scan that and you get instructional videos. I took the top plastic off already because I had to take a peek at this guy. But here are all the things. So he's got this ladder attachment. He's got 2 good sized guns. They look like the originals. They don't plug together though. So that's a little annoying. It's got these, which are obviously feet of some kind. It's got 2 of them because, you know, needs 2 feet. He's got this very large piece, which becomes a very large gun for Defensor himself. He's got 2. So he is well armed. So the problem with wearing a dark sports coat, even with a very cool pin like that one, and showing off black items is that, you know, it's harder to see. Sorry about that. They got this little piece. I'm not sure what that's for. It's a little piece that goes somewhere. I don't know. It's probably for the ladder. And then there's this piece, which you can see has a Defensor head in there. Woohoo! And what is gonna make him look very cool in the merged mode. And of course you have Hotspot himself, or, you know, Justice Leader. Very large. I'm gonna put this over here, and we're gonna take his ladder and attach it. Which I think it just plugs in right here. There, that looks better. And he's got those things right there. So, very cool. Now, right over here, I happen to have, now this is actually the Combiner Wars knockoff, but it's the exact same size as Combiner Wars. And as you can see in the picture, there is definitely a size difference. This guy is huge. There is also, zoom in a little bit to show you a little bit more detail. It's also a color difference because the Combiner Wars, at least the knockoff one, is a little bit of a different shade of blue, a little darker. This is a little lighter, more baby blue, but still they're very cool. They're virtually the same toy, but there are some differences. For example, this guy's got these guns on the side and these pieces, which I'm not sure what they're exactly for. This guy lacks that. Now, I think that just from what I'm seeing and what I've seen, and this guy's gonna be amazing as Defensor. In Hasbro's defense, you know, these Combiner War toys were supposed to have minimal extra accessories. This guy's got like so many extra accessories. So definitely a more of a G1 vibe because there's stuff that you put aside and don't attach when he is in his vehicle mode. Now you can attach some of this stuff when he's in the different bases, but like I said, I will probably never put them in base mode. I mean, I'd love to see people put them in base mode, and you could always, you know, tag me on Instagram or something if you have base mode set up, but I think the original Hotspot, I put him in base mode maybe once or twice in my life, but generally he's either as part of Defensor or a robot or a fire truck. All right, so let's get him into his robot mode, which, looking at it, the transformation seems virtually identical to the original Combiner Wars version, but again, I'm thinking it's pretty big. Yeah, I looked at the QR code, but yeah. What is interesting is these side panels. Looks like they kind of go around the back, I'm guessing, and kind of cover up the back of his legs. So that's kind of neat. So this is what I'm kind of hoping the robot mode is supposed to look like. I'm going to take a look at the box. And it looks like in some instances they take this off or they set it up as like a weapon. I don't like having stuff just lying around, so I might just try to consolidate it a little bit. I mean, not the best hanging off his back. Could just remove it entirely. But there he is. He's got these two guns. Seem to fit well enough into his hands. And there you go. So there they are side by side. You can see, obviously, the new Justice Leader. Dude, Justice Power, sorry. Justice Power. It's much larger, taller, bigger guns. The only bad part I can see is that he can't do that. He can't have the huge long gun. The back, I don't know if I have it exactly right. That looks good to me. I usually keep this guy merged with his fellow Protectobots in Defensor mode anyway. But both very cool robots, and I am looking forward, of course, to seeing the larger versions, seeing Defensor. Now the faces, pretty much the same. His mouth guard has a little bit more darkness on it. They both have a difference in tone on the mouth guard, but this one seems a little bit more of a contrast. But they both seem very cool, and I will go through the posability very quickly because yes, full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, part of the problem with Hotspot is, you know, he doesn't have a ton of bend in the knee, but he swivels. The knees are kind of wonky because of the transformation. But I will say, the original doesn't have those back plates, so the knee movement is a little easier. But as you can see, he's got these nice plates on the back, which kind of help out. He does twist at the waist, which the original Hotspot Combiner Wars does not. So that is definitely an enhancement. Shoulders go all the way around. You can shrug a little bit. You got the arm swivel, bend at the elbow. The hands, no, you can't twist the fists. The head, though, does turn quite freely. So there he is, one down. The other four will be a little, I think, closer to the original Combiner War versions. I'm looking forward to playing with these things. All right, we combine and fight. Got it. Let's go. I did take them out briefly and rebagged their weapons, so you have a nice big old bag of weapon. They look pretty much exactly like the originals, only bigger. So I gotta say, they come with the hands, and the hands definitely are an upgrade from the Combiner Wars ones. Articulated fingers, each one. You can bend multiple digits. And yes, I'm a child. I'm flipping you off with his hand here. So we've got First Aid, we've got Groove, Streetwise, and Blades. Put up the kickstand will help. So you got these four guys. The blades, four blades, are separate, so you do have to attach them. Not being an aerodynamicist or a helicopter expert, I'm assuming that's right, but you can always pop them off and put them in otherwise. And gotta fix his tail and knock over Groove. Let's start with the pacifist. Of course, comes with a big axe. Some pacifist. Now, I didn't break out the individual weapons, but I did break out so you can see the difference between Combiner War size. Again, this is the knockoff, but so I'm not sure how the colors on the knockoff relate to the original. It's got kind of darker light bar colors. This says emergency, this says rescue on either side. So there's some differences in the deco, but the molds are exactly the same. So as a weird SUV style ambulance, it actually rolls pretty good. Better than the knockoff. And I imagine, since this is based on the same mold as the original Combiner Wars, I mean, you tell me if they roll any better. This big one definitely rolls nicely. And again, looks very nice. Tad over 6 inches long compared to the original, which is a little shy of 5 inches. So you can see the size comparison there. But there's only so much vroom vroom we can do. Let's get him into his robot mode. No surprises with this mold, exactly the same. So there they are side by side. Obviously a height difference. The new First Aid is about 8 inches to the top of his hood. The original is a little shy of 6. Now, one interesting difference, and I don't think that this was left out from the knockoff, but it's a solid head. This one actually has light piping. So if a light comes through, it goes to the eyes and makes his eyes glow blue. So that's kind of a neat add-on thing. So there they are, First Aid. I am liking this bigger set. Definitely something that could stand up possibly to like maybe the Combiner Wars version of Devastator. We're gonna need you later. Streetwise, his gun here. And as you can see, big surprise, he is bigger than the original version. Seems to roll a little bit better. I mean, that rolls okay. This just rolls more smoothly. I don't know, size matters. Now this has, as a knockoff, has a Transformer-ish symbol here. There's no Transformer symbol here. So if you get a sheet of Autobot stickers, you could always put one there. This one does not have really changes to the deco otherwise. Still says police on either side. Everything looks pretty much the same from every angle. We've got 2 more after this, plus combining it. So, one thing I forgot to mention about this guy is he actually has hands that open and close. So I don't want to do another turn here. So his hands actually do have some articulation in the fingers. Another improvement. So there they are side by side. Again, obviously this one's bigger. And this one has some slight yellowing compared to this one. So a scooch over 7 inches, about 5.5. But there are some differences, again, which I'm actually kind of impressed with. First of all, there's the light piping that comes through. And just like we found out with First Aid, which I wasn't expecting, he's got hands that can actually open. But wait, there's more. Inside his arms, there's these plates. So when you are transforming him, that covers it over. But when you have the fist out, that goes there, so it's not just a hollow. So you can see it's a little bit nicer. Oh, sorry, had you asked backwards. But other than that, if you know how to transform this one, you know how to transform that one. You'll figure it out. And very similar. Again, I'm really liking these bigger versions. They have some minor improvements and the fist twist. That does not happen with this guy. So you can actually twist the fist, which you can do with First Aid. Wow, because I wasn't as thorough as I thought. Though, because of his plates on the side, it doesn't go as much. Still, impressive, impressive. Might as well go with blades. He's got the blades, and you can put them next to blades. And again, this helicopter is about 9 inches long. This one, just about 6 3/4 inches. They both have the nice rotors. Obviously, everything's bigger on the other one. Deco-wise, he's got kind of a weird symbol on his. Again, this is the knockoff. I don't have the original, but it says rescue and it has a weird symbol that kind of looks like it has an Autobot symbol in it, though it's probably the fake Transformer symbol. This also says rescue, but it's just got the cross. They both say rescue on the, towards the top, right below the rotor. So the deco, very, very, very similar on these guys. I'd roll him, but it's a helicopter. I can't make him fly either. But looks good. The chrome is about the same shininess on this knockoff and this knockoff. Doing knockoff versus knockoff, kind of. But let's transform him into his Batmird. Now I know that they've come up with a lot of really cool stuff in Siege and later things, but the Combiner Wars, very impressive to someone who grew up with G1, and basically most of these guys didn't even have true legs. If you count to the tippy tip of his rear rotor, that's like 8 inches, 6. Again, very similar, slight improvements here. Again, you got the light piping, and the fists are kind of in there. You can wiggle them a little bit, so they do twist a little bit, and they do have the articulated fingers. But other than that, I don't really see any real differences between these two. But again, notable improvements. I do like it. And I think having the hands a different color adds a little bit of something, but I have a feeling all the hands are like the same for all these guys. They just made a bunch of hands and plugged them on there. And of course, same posability. I don't need to go through everything. And by the way, these guys all kind of twist at the waist because that's part of their transformation. Finally, Groove, which you can actually attach his weapons on him in vehicle mode. So he's a well-armed police motorcycle. And of course, he has a kickstand, just like the original, or well, knockoff original. I actually have a real one somewhere, but I'm not gonna dig them out because they're pretty much identical. So again, a little over 7 inches wheel-wise. This guy's about 5.5. But again, motorcycles, they're exactly the same in mold-wise. He has the fake symbol in the front. He actually has police on his windshield. So slight difference there. And of course, black hands versus white hands. But otherwise, they look pretty much the same, except the size. It rolls very well, but of course, there's no one riding it. So, I mean, this one doesn't roll too bad either, but I don't think it's good. And And again, I'm not sure if that's the knockoff talking or just the mold itself. All right, into robot mode we go. So there they are side by side. Now, interestingly enough, whereas we have the light piping here, which is blue, the original Groove, or at least Combiner Wars knockoff one, but I'm pretty sure the Combiner Wars Deluxe has light piping, because Groove was actually released a little bit later, because there was Rook and there was a very small Groove, which kind of scaling wise made sense, but no offense to Rook, who also was a Wind Charger repaint at one point, but that part isn't different. The hands, of course, on this one will twist and the fingers will open. So, you know, it's got the Tarn fingers. This one, there's no twisting. Of course, they both twist at the waist, all that kind of stuff, but I don't see any other improvements. And of course, all the same posability, knees, legs, swiveling, twisting. You know how these guys are. Swivels in the legs. I mean, the Combiner War molds weren't bad. They were pretty good, much better, of course, than the G1. And now having these larger ones, and they've made a few improvements. You like improvements, don't you, Sky? Welcome. To those who do not know, this is Sky. She helps a lot with these reviews. Okay, I know what you're waiting for. We're gonna give it to you. We're going to merge into Defensor. So here he is, the Special Guardian Force Defensor. He's huge. I mean, I'd show you in my close-up camera, but that is the close-up camera now. He is definitely very large. I think I have him totally together the way he should be. I did look a little bit at that video, helped me with the crotch piece, but I gotta say, not sure about how the ladder's attached. That's not quite what it shows on the box, but it works. He's got ankle rockers. He can somewhat twist a little bit because of the hip guard that kind of interferes, but he's got all the same posability pretty much of the Combiner Wars one. And these feet are massive and they look like feet, which is a nice thing. Articulated fingers, these guns are huge. Basically, when I took them out, they had little itty bitty handles, but you flip that and you get a big handle that plugs into the fist. So that helps. This head turns, which is nice. And he just looks very solid. And looking at him on the back, he's got these back leg covers that, you know, kind of protect his Achilles. I mean, it's an incredibly good job. And you can bend the knees somewhat. I mean, I wouldn't do much other than put him into this mode and have him be there. Now, size comparison wise, there's the Combiner Wars one. Well, the knockoff, but, and for a little more size comparison, that's the G1. So you can see this guy is huge, 18 inches tall, whereas this guy's about 11, and the G1 is around 8. He's huge, he's massive. Definitely they did some enhancements to the individual guys. You get the bonus things with all the different bases, which I will probably, again, never use. My biggest challenge is gonna find a place to put him on the shelf. And a special guest star just to show some more size comparisons, Combiner Wars Devastator. This is the actual Hasbro one. They're about the same height. So finally, I mean, I do have a knockoff of this that's about the size of Combiner Wars regular ones, but this one can actually face off against Defensor and probably get his ass kicked because usually Devastator gets his ass kicked. But I definitely recommend it. It wasn't the least expensive Transformer I've gotten. It was also not the most expensive by a long shot. I ordered him through AliExpress. He came in the 2 different boxes, Hotspot taking up most of the room, you know, in the bigger box, and then with all his accessories. I mean, I like it. It's a nice version of Defensor. I do have to say, in defense of the Combiner Wars one, you know, the head is not a separate thing. Whoa, stop falling over, dude. The head is built into Hotspot. The fist feet things can actually go onto the cars and they can hold them as weapons. These things are part of the base and all these other pieces are part of the base, but they're not incorporated into the regular modes of the bots. So while I am very happy with this and I'm glad it's part of my collection, I have to say as far as integrated parts, the Combiner Wars one is better. This one is a little bit more like the G1, which the head is part of Hotspot, but the chest shield and the hip part and the fists of the feet are all separate and not used for any other purpose other than merging together. I mean, it's great that these other parts can incorporate into different modes of Hotspot, and I love it. I definitely recommend it. I'm just saying, don't shit on the Combiner Wars one too much. So it's 2 different purchases. One is Hotspot with all this stuff, and that cost me like $59.02. Yeah, an odd price. The set of the other 4 cost me like $49.22. So a little over $100 for this with all the pieces. Again, the instructions are on a QR code, and I think there was some shipping involved, so like $24 shipping. So with that and tax, you're talking about maybe $130, $140 for this. It's worth it. It feels quality. The plastic is nice, and you could see it's an improved version of the Combiner Wars. But yeah, he's massive, able to take on the Combiner Wars Devastator very easily. I mean, I don't know that I figured out the back right, but like I said, it looks good. Everything else I think I have into place the way it should be. It's a great set, and I'd like to know if you've already gotten it, what your thoughts are, and if you haven't, and you do get it, what your thoughts are, and what you think of it just overall. The look, he's a much more solid looking Defensor than, I have to say, the regular Combiner Wars one. He definitely seems sturdier, seems more impressive, but again, it's a lot of extra pieces that are put aside when they're in their vehicle modes. So a lot of accessories to form this. But then again, some people pick up add-on kits for some of the Combiner Wars stuff that improves them, and those would be aside. So what's the difference? Very cool version. And while you're mulling over whether or not you want to get this huge guy, you can check out this video over here where we have a red version of the Combiner Wars Defensor. The face is a little different, so it might be a different type. It's definitely not Victorion. That's a video that was worth checking out. And of course, you can like, share, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. We'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.